lights. Now that we know what a camera is and a 3D layer is, we can now explore lights. Lights are a very amazing thing, and once you start down this road, there is no going back. So, for right now, just know that right here is where all my composition comes together and I can see everything. So, at this point, I want to add a light. So right click, new light. And I'm going to use a point light, but know that all these lights are independent of each other and each has their own quirks and qualms. Right now I'm just going to be using point light, but know that all of them are very nice to explore. Okay, so what I'm going to do is lock out everything but the light. This will prevent it from me grabbing onto anything else. So now I can move the light around and you can see that the light is interacting with the actual 3D part of it. And depending if I click on the red arrow, the green arrow, or the blue arrow for Z, it depends on where it's moving in world space, we call it. So in order to see this better, you can go to a top view and see where it is in world space. In this case, here's my name title. It's located right there. And I can't click on it because it's locked. And my light is in front of it. So if I move the light back and forth, that is essentially moving it in front of that title. Okay, so let's go back to active camera and you can see that I'm doing just that. Well, I could start out by maybe it being in a certain position. So let's look at the light and light options. Lots of options here. We have positioning of the light, and we have a lot of different options as far as the intensity of the light is concerned, shadow casting, and everything else. We'll get into these, but for right now, let's look at the fact that there is a light in the scene, and its position can be controlled and keyframed. So in this case, maybe a keyframe here, and this keyframe would end up right there, and maybe the intensity will be a lot stronger and everything will be lit up. So the intensity and the position is now keyed. Right? Now, before the composition hits, it's way over here. So let's do something. Maybe position the light. So now it's over here. And maybe have its intensity change. All right, so let's look what the whole composition is doing. In this case, it's flying in, and I'm getting this light source, and the light source pops in. Well, not much of a change there, so I'm going to put the opacity or the intensity down a little bit. And then I'm going to change its position too, because I think that just having it end up right here is kind of boring. So maybe across. Very cool. And then maybe back. And then one more time back to the center. Perfect. So that positioning of the light adds a little bit more dynamics to the situation. So let's hit the spacebar and see what that looks like. This will RAM preview it. Okay. And there we go. Now it should play real time here shortly. Now you notice that I have the RAM preview set for all the way across. This is where it's going to dead end. And if I wanted that RAM preview to be closer, I could. I could like drag this bar over here, and that way it would only RAM preview from here to here where the animation stops. Okay, so now this is real time. And I like it, but I don't like the light, how it jitters. So I would probably remove some of the keyframes. But that is essentially how you make a light move back and forth. And you can see that there is a keyframe here just underneath it, so I could get rid of that if I wanted to. But then I would have to RAM preview it to see it. That's lights. That's moving lights. And now that we know we have lights in the scene, let's go on to the next video.